Do you remember when Donald Trump promised to lower grocery prices on day one?
I started using the groceries. When you buy apples, when you buy bacon, when you buy eggs, they would double and triple the price over a short period of time. And I won an election based on that. We're going to bring those prices way down.
Well, we're more than 270 days into Trump's presidency and inflation keeps rising. We are now at 3%, which is higher than when President Biden left office.
Inflation is ticking up. So why is the president saying the opposite?
Grocery prices are way down. Groceries are down. Now, as you know, groceries are down. We've gotten prices way down for groceries.
For a deeper dive on this, let's turn to CNN's Daniel Dale. So, Daniel, what are the facts here?
The fact is that these claims are just not true. It wasn't true when President Trump claimed earlier this year that grocery prices were down. It's not true now. And we know that because of the new Consumer Price Index report released this morning, which showed that from August to September, grocery prices increased again by 0.3%. That followed a 0.6% increase from July to August, which was the biggest jump in 3 years. They're also up 2.7% from last September, and about half of that increase, about 1.4% in total, has happened since January, the month President Trump returned to office.
And remember how Trump said we were all going to be so rich because of his tariffs?
All I know is this: we're going to take in hundreds of billions of dollars in tariffs, and we're going to become so rich, you're not going to know where to spend all that money. I'm telling you, you just watch.
It's one trend, and True Brand is making a big comeback as consumers tighten their wallets. And here it is, Hamburger Helper. The mix of mac and cheese and ground beef is seeing a surge in sales.
The only person better off in making themselves richer is Donald Trump and his family, whose net worth nearly doubled to over $7 billion in the last year. And guess where Americans are? They're waiting in long bread lines, which happened the last time Trump was president.
First waiting in long lines at this food bank in southern Maryland.
I would have never thought in a million years that I would have been in this position to have to go to a food bank.
Denise Blake says she drove over an hour to get here. When she finally arrived, they had run out of food.
We have a cart ready for you out front.
Fortunately, she did not leave empty-handed, but she still faces the harsh reality of not knowing how she's going to feed her family while she's not getting paid during the government shutdown.
I don't want my daughter to see me crying.
Blake's story is like so many others who are waiting to get paid as Congress stalls to pass a new spending plan.
I haven't gotten a paycheck this month. So the free groceries is very important, very helpful.
More than 1 million federal workers are not receiving pay right now. Many missed their first full paycheck Friday, while others will feel the loss early next week, depending on the agency.
So while families are running out of food, federal workers haven't seen a paycheck in weeks, healthcare costs are skyrocketing, and the government is nearly 30 days into a shutdown, Trump's main priority is a gilded ballroom.
At this moment in time, of course, the ballroom is really the president's main priority.
Trump is turning 1600 Pennsylvania Avenue into a $350 million ballroom that nobody asked for, which, coincidentally, is exactly how Melania describes their marriage. Trump is more focused on playing demolition derby on the East Wing, which is now completely gone, not under renovation, not temporarily closed, destroyed and turned into rubble, which means this statement about not interfering with the current building was a lie. Shocker.
It won't interfere with the current building. I won't be near it, but not touching it, and pays total respect to the existing building, which I'm the biggest fan of. It's my favorite.
Right. This is a physical metaphor for what Trump is doing to America. He's taking something that's historic, functional, and dignified and turning it into a trashy monument to himself. It's like if Mount Rushmore suddenly had a fit that, wait, hold on, why does that sound so familiar? Oh, wait, Donald Trump actually wants that. Dog killer and Ice Barbie Kristi Noem, while she was governor, literally used quote-unquote private donors to pay for a replica of Mount Rushmore with Trump's face carved into it. If it's not apparently obvious by now, the GOP is a weird cult. This whole trashy ballroom project actually reminds me of when President Obama roasted Donald Trump in 2011 about what a Trump White House would actually look like.
Say what you will about Mr. Trump, he certainly would bring some change to the White House.
That was supposed to be a joke, but what started as a punchline has now become a terrifyingly accurate prediction about how Trump is literally changing the White House. The East Wing will now become a gold spray-painted ballroom where Trump plans to host his $10,000 a plate Trump Freedom Burgers. And when you enter, he'll say, "Welcome to the Trump ballroom. Must buy some Trump coin to enter." Now, Trump claims that he won't name it after himself, but I mean, come on. This is the same guy who slapped his name on steaks, water, wine, a fake university, and an airline that didn't even take off. You really think he's gonna build a $350 million ballroom and call it something like the People's Hall? Sources say that Trump is already calling the triumphal arch he's building across from the Lincoln Memorial the Arc de Trump, because nothing says "I respect history" like vandalizing it in French. Oh, and quick side note, you know who else planned to build a ballroom and an Arc de Triomphe? That's right, the GOP's favorite guy, Adolf Hitler. Yep. Hitler's chief architect, Albert Speer, designed a triumphal arch for his fantasy capital, Germania, nearly 50 times larger than the Arc de Triomphe in Paris. He even tested the foundation for it in 1938, and the ground literally started to crack under its weight, which, fun fact, is also what happens to democracy when Republicans start idolizing fascism. Trump's projects aren't just about his fragile ego or his legacy, it's about permanence. Trump doesn't plan to leave the White House, which was pretty clear at the insurrection on January 6th. Trump is building himself a palace to rule for another term and beyond. And if you don't believe me, just listen to walking bacterial infection Steve Bannon.
Well, he's going to get a third term. So Trump 28, Trump is going to be president in 28. And people just ought to get accommodated with that.
So what about the 22nd Amendment?
There's many different alternatives. At the appropriate time, we'll lay out what the plan is. But there's a plan, and President Trump will be the president in 28. We had longer odds in 16 and longer odds in 24 than we got in 28. And President Trump will be the president of the United States, and the country needs him to be president of the United States. We have to finish what we started. And the way we finish it through Trump, Trump is a vehicle. I know this will drive you guys crazy, but he's a vehicle of divine providence. He's an instrument. He's very imperfect. He's not churchy, not particularly religious, but he's an instrument of divine will. And you can tell this of how he's pulled this off. We need him for at least one more term.
They continue to say the quiet part out loud. So yeah, this is not a renovation, it's an occupation. And when this circus started over the summer, Trump said it would cost $200 million, and then it became $250 million, and then $300 million, and now, surprise, surprise, it's $350 million.
It's about $200 million. It's going to be couple of $100 million at least.
I think it'll cost $250 million.
It's about $300 million. Actually, we raised, I think, $350 million.
I mean, at this rate, Trump's ballroom will cost more than the GDP of Vermont. Trust me, give it about
2 weeks. 2 weeks. 2 weeks.
The guys at True Classics started with a simple mission: to bring premium, comfortable clothing to the masses, because looking and feeling great shouldn't come with a designer price tag. And clearly, people agree. People vote with their dollars, and True Classic has sold over 25 million shirts to more than 5 million customers and racking up over 200,000 5-star reviews. Their brand isn't just about fabric or fit, it's about helping guys show up every day with confidence and purpose. Their shirts fit where they should, feel incredible, and don't break the bank. You get that tailored look without sacrificing comfort or blowing your budget. I've been wearing True Classic for a while now, and you can feel the difference the moment you throw one on. It's tailored where you want it, relaxed where you need it, no bunching, no stiff fabric, and no BS. Just a clean, effortless fit that actually works for real life. So forget overpriced designer brands, skip the cheap throwaway stuff. True Classic is built for comfort. It's built to last, and it's built to give back. You can find them on Amazon, Target, Costco, Sam's Club, or head over to trueclassic.com/Gabe to try them out for yourself. And remember, Trump is doing all of this without any congressional approval during a shutdown when more than 1 million federal workers aren't getting paid. This guy is literally spending millions while Americans are standing in bread lines. Trump bankrupted casinos and built a scam university that was less accredited than Hogwarts, and now he's playing HGTV Authoritarian Edition with the People's House, which MAGA seems to forget. It's not Trump's house, it's our house. Also, Trump didn't get permits, he didn't consult historians, he didn't even warn staff. He just started tearing things down like a toddler with a Tonka truck and unresolved daddy issues.
Can the president tear down anything he wants without oversight? Can he demolish this building or say the Jefferson Memorial?
Can any president do such a thing to the White House grounds? There have been many presidents in the past who have made their mark on this beautiful White House complex.
So it sounds like the answer is yes, he can tear down whatever he wants. And then secondly,
that's not what we're saying. That's a legal opinion that's been held for many years. And
interpreting it.
No, it's something that presidents have done for years and years. In fact, I have some photos here.
All right, that's great. So your defense is other people remodeled before. You know what? Fine. Let's just go with that. Teddy Roosevelt added the West Wing, Taft added the Oval Office, FDR added a pool, Truman added a bowling alley, and Obama added a basketball court, which, if we're being honest with ourselves, was just painting lines over the existing tennis court. And of course, it wouldn't be Trump if he didn't criticize Obama for it back in 2011.
He said he has no control over prices, which he does if he gets on the phone or gets off his basketball court or whatever he's doing at the time. I mean, he should be focused on OPEC and getting those prices down.
So Obama shooting hoops means that he didn't take his job seriously, but Trump literally shooting holes in the White House is apparently patriotism. But we all know why Trump and MAGA can't shut up about Obama. Their obsession is built on resentment, envy, jealousy, and, oh yeah, racism. But the thing that MAGA seems to be forgetting is that these projects were approved and had permits, which again, is the complete opposite of Trump's approach. He's building a 90,000 square foot ballroom, which is nearly double the size of the current White House at 55,000 square feet. That's not an addition, that's a hostile takeover. This ballroom obsession isn't new. Trump has been talking about building a White House ballroom for at least 15 years. He's been pitching himself to manage the project like it's another Trump Tower franchise, long before he ever ran for president. Here's Trump telling that story at a recent White House event, putting his full cognitive decline on display, confusing President Biden and President Obama.
And I actually offered to build a ballroom for the White House. I was going to build it right there. This was going to be the reception room. And then I was going to build a beautiful, beautiful ballroom like I have at Mar-a-Lago, as beautiful as it can be. It was going to cost about $100 million. I offered to do it, and I never heard back. I offered to do it to the Biden administration, very active administration, and they didn't hear back. And I said again and again, 3-4 times, I said to top people, and they just didn't know what to do.
Yeah, Trump didn't hear back because the federal government generally prefers, or at least used to prefer, not to subcontract national landmarks to the guy whose last major project was literally a casino that went bankrupt while selling steaks. Oh yeah, and stiffing his contractors. Also, based on a YouGov poll, 53% of Americans oppose tearing down the East Wing. Another 23% support it, which, coincidentally, is the same number of Americans who believe JFK Jr. is still alive. All of this chaos, the cost, the law-breaking, the propaganda, it isn't random, it's deliberate, because this ballroom isn't about parties, it's about power. I mean, let's just think about this logically. You don't spend $350 million on a permanent addition if you just plan on leaving. This is the same guy who refused to concede an election, promised to be president for life, and sells Bibles with his f***ing name on them. Building a ballroom twice the size of the White House is Trump's way of saying, I'm not moving out, I'm expanding. Trump's not building a ballroom, he's building a bunker with chandeliers, which just so happens to be above the Presidential Emergency Operations Center. You might remember it as the bunker that Trump ran to when he tear-gassed protesters to take this photo of himself with an upside-down Bible. Authoritarian leaders always build monuments to themselves while their people suffer, and the symbolism couldn't be clear. He's throwing a party in the ruins of democracy as Americans are struggling. And that crater in the ground isn't just a construction site, it's a symbol of what happens when one man treats democracy like it's his personal plaything. Thanks for watching What Was That? If you want more episodes, articles, and breakdowns, go to whatwasthat.show. Join the community and become a paid subscriber today. It's just me behind the scenes, so every bit of support really makes a difference. And if you'd rather listen on the go, you can find What Was That on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you get your shows. Until next time, I'm Gabe Sanchez, and this has been What Was That?